Can you imagine? To hear Jesus himself for hours just comment on how all of the Old Testament reveals him and aligns with him. Could you imagine? It's Resurrection Sunday. The Passover has turned into the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and some people are beginning to travel back to their villages, especially if their villages are close. Two guys are traveling from Jerusalem to Emmaus, and they're walking, and the resurrected Jesus comes and walks with them, but they don't know it's him. They're kept in their mind from recognizing Jesus. And so they're walking, and Jesus goes, "Hey, what you guys talking about?" And they're like, "We're talking about all the things that happened in the city over the last couple of days." He's like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "Are you the only one that's not talking about Jesus of Nazareth, the rabbi? He was killed, and now they can't find his body." He's like, "Oh, tell me more," And it's almost comical, and they're walking, they're answering his questions, he's responding, and then he says this. He says, "Oh, how slow you are to believe and understand all that the prophets have said about how the Messiah must suffer and die in order to accomplish his mission." And they're like, "What?" And then it says this in Luke 24. It says, and we'll put it up on the screen. "And he said to them, O foolish men, slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Was it not necessary for the Christ to suffer these things and enter into his glory? Then beginning with Moses and with all the prophets, he explained to them the things concerning himself in all the scriptures." If there was one moment I could be at in biblical time, it would be this walk. Can you imagine? To hear Jesus himself for hours, because this was a long walk, for hours just comment on how all of the Old Testament reveals him and aligns with him. Could you imagine? I would want to record that. I would want to take notes. I would be just enthralled. It has been part of my joy as just a disciple of Jesus to try to re-engage what he told these two men. And that's what we'll attempt to do so today.